Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to the BC WrestlePod Network. And welcome to another rendition of the Elite Insight, your AEW pay-per-view review show here at the BC WrestlePod networking, podcasting, conglomeration, syndicate thingamabob we do here every single week. It is great, and I love it. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Mikey, and joining me this evening is the Grand Poobah of BC WrestlePod, the man who started it all with me, and honestly, this is his baby, and he let me run with it, Mr. JVL, also known as Chris Stat Flounder, this evening, who we're going to talk about Chris later in the show, because, my God, I was not prepared for that, but, like, in the best way possible.
Oh, well, there's so much to talk about with that. Highlights of many things. But I'm glad to be here, Mikey. Thank you for having me aboard, and thank you for adopting my baby so well and raising it better than I ever could. So proud of you. So proud.
I'm just glad you said yes when I asked you. He'd be like, hey, so I want to kind of bring this back, but I want to revamp it, but I want to ask you for permission. Is that okay?
And you have. It is all yours now. I just watched it happen. So glad to be here. And Mikey, starting off our entire weekend of fun stuff this way with the major stuff, this was a great pay-per-view to get started with. I'm sorry.
It was I did not get an opportunity to talk about it too much because me and Kilt just went in yesterday, but it was still a lot of fun. But it was a roller coaster because this started off my weekend great, then WrestlePalooza happened, and then GCW Homecoming Los Angeles happened, and it made me feel better. Also, Bear gives the best hugs. I loved it so much, and I want to talk about it with JPL off air later. So we got things.
Yeah, we're gonna make Jesse very, very jealous that you got that. So that's good.
Oh, me and Jesse had a conversation yesterday. It was great. Hopefully, I get to see him on Thursday, but more about that later on.
He's planning to be here, so it'll be good. But we're doing this now.
Yeah, we got a thing to do. We got to cover AEW All Out Toronto. Of course, we got this lovely little poster with Edge staring into my soul, Copeland, and I'm a little afraid, maybe slightly turned on. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'm gonna grab your balls.
So before Copeland starts doing that, before we get into all of this, a little bit of announcements, if you will, like we always do. If you like what you see here, and even if you don't, that is okay. We love you either way. And however you found us, we highly recommend and please beg you to subscribe to our YouTube or follow us on Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred video watching / streaming, watching consumption platform is. But we also know that watching full-length reviews may not be for you, but if you still want to interact with us, then we also have social medias. We are on almost every single social media site at BC WrestlePod, where we do our report cards. Something I've been doing for the last 3 months is now I'm giving you the previews of the weekly television shows for most of the stuff we cover. Be like, should I watch this tonight? And the 5 out of 10 times it's like, yes. You should definitely watch the things on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Friday. Well, something on Friday and on Saturday on most occasions.
If you don't like any of that stuff, but you like to have bite-sized chunks of all these reviews, Mikey also does a great job cutting them down to our little shorts, which we call the best of Mikey, because none of us get to talk on any of them. It's all about Mikey on our shorts.
Listen, it is not my fault that the algorithm in my editing program fixate to me because I do a lot of talking, but that's a problem though.
It's nothing to do with the fact that you edit it or that the algorithm you edit is trained by you or in general is on your computer and recognizes its master that you've been feeding. No, nothing at all like that. But yes, of course, enjoy the shorts are very funny. We do enjoy them, but they are the best of Mikey. So enjoy the best of Mikey.
Yeah, so we kind of taken a break from the short bite-sized clips because I'm like, there's a lot going on, but they are coming back in October as well as some other ideas I've been playing with. But if you want to support us in different ways, like we like these guys, we wanted to keep the lights on for them. So how can we support you financially? Well, I'm glad you asked, person on the internet, because there are 2 ways that you can support us financially. And one of those, well, not necessarily a Venmo. However, I am going to talk about something. The only other person who knows about this is Will, but that's because I told him. To be fair, I haven't yet. Well, I mean,
this is what happens when Mikey has so many children on his podcast that he likes equally, except when he doesn't and tells the cool ones about the cool stuff, and the rest of us just get told on air with all of you. It's wonderful.
Well, to be fair, I also told him on air as well, but he gave me the idea, so that's why he knows about this. But we have merchandise available for you, which also includes our new fall collection and our Latino Heritage Month collection.
It's lovely stuff. It's really good.
It is really, really fun. I'm having I had such a blast designing it. And you know what? We got a lot of other stuff coming down the pipeline, so to speak, because we got some really fun stuff for October. It took a while, but a certain design by a certain Miniford is finally making it into it. I love it. And also the one that JVL and I collaborated on is also coming out in October as well, which is so much fun. And honestly, I was like, guys, I'm poor, but you know what? We're going to buy all this merchandise and wear it because it's great. And of course, everything that we have is tied to charity. So that's the important thing as well.
I'm buying, but I'm waiting to buy for Christmas is basically what it is. So I'm going to buy it and then have it as gifts for everybody else afterwards.
Yo, honestly, same. I will probably be sending y'all, I'll be like, here's a discount code so you don't break the bank during the holidays.
Jesse will need it for a couple free ones, I know that. But
anyways, but on top of that, we also have established a coffee for BC WrestlePod. So if you would like to, support us financially and donate and all the
camera down and go get this right now.
So we have a BC WrestlePod coffee that is a KO-FI, not the actual drink. Though if you want to buy us an actual drink, we will also take that because we spend late hours doing all this stuff, which is a lot of fun. But the link will be popping up ever so often throughout the entirety of this review. So if you feel inclined or obligated to, you can click that link and donate, but it is not mandatory, but it does help us out. We are not in dire straits, but every little bit counts. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. But that is all the announcements I have. So let's just get into it because I really want to talk about this show.
That's fine.
I love that the consensus of the internet, even from the diehards, is just like, oh yeah, this definitely won the weekend. Easily. Minus WrestlePalooza. I also say I was the winner this weekend because AEW put on a banger of a pay-per-view, and also GCW brought all the stuff as well.
Oh yeah, from all the clips we saw and the stuff you shared, it was a great weekend for wrestling, except for the major bloated monopoly company at the top that doesn't know how to deal with its fans anymore.
No, and once again, like always across a lot of promotions anyways, the women were what carried that show and was the best part of it. Crazy. But we are here to talk about AEW's All Out Toronto. There was a lot of things that happened. So the way that this review is going to work is we're going to briefly speed through 0 Hour minus the last match on 0 Hour because that's the one that was in our predictions league.
Yep.
Which, by the way, we gonna show those scores at the very end because it is getting crazy in the AEW league.
Oh, I believe it. Professor is probably just like running away with it at this point.
Stay tuned for all of that at the end. So after 0 Hour, we will go into the main card, which saw 10 home matches that we're gonna talk about
versus the 5 from the other one. It's like, is there a happy medium somewhere in the middle we can have?
That is very fair. And then even though one of them was not a match, we got 12 things at GCW too. And honestly, nice. I was like, wow, it didn't feel like 12 card show. But anyways,
can I also say, Mikey,
was it?
The other folks were saying tons of stuff because they were where they were putting it out and what was going on, that there was going to be so many surprises. And I feel like all the surprises were on this show and GCW, but like this one specifically, like we had a lot of fun stuff. I think, Mikey, do I still have you? Did I lose everything?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Perfect. Am I right though? I mean, like a lot of fun stuff going on in the show.
Absolutely. And I was just like, this is great, especially for whatever we're going to do leading into Wrestle Dream, which is coming up very soon as well.
It's flying by. It's coming.
Oh, man, it's going to be great. But let's quickly go through 0 Hour. This is going to be, So we kick things off, of course, with Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs, 2/3 of our trio's champions, taking on the Workhorsemen.
Meat.
I was just like, this was so I'm happy to actually see the full Workhorsemen back together. For whatever reason, I was just like, we thought we were getting them, and then either one, it was a revolving door, but it seems that they're finally together. This 0 Hour is going to be repeated, be like, this was a quick match, but I had a fun one. This was a fun match for me as well. This was fun for me to start things off.
No, a lovely little time there watching Samoa Joe do his nope spot right in the middle of the stuff. They got all the hits in there, a lot of good stuff between them. JD Drake really working well against Powerhouse Hobbs. It was a fun teaser to get us ready for the evening. I thought they had a great time together.
100%. Of course, Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs would win over the Workhorsemen. And then it bled into the next one, which was Garcia and Shibata 3. And this is everything that I wanted. I was just like, these two can never have a bad match together.
Every time I watch this too, and Shibata's taking bigger and bigger bumps now, but between getting thrown off the ropes into the lower ropes there, getting put in between the steel ring steps. He's really taking headshots a lot more, and it makes me cringe every time just knowing his history. With having Danny Garcia do it though, it's a lot of fun. I'm just still not there. I need to get used to the shorts with knee pads. It just looks weird.
Yeah, it's still a little jarring of him coming out looking like Death Riders in the Death Riders gear. But I'm like, okay. But again, Garcia Shibata 3, such a great match. They can fight forever, and I'm here for it. And, Garcia picks up the victory here, and Daddy Magic is still like trying to get Garcia to come back to, the light side, but Garcia wants to stay in the darkness.
Garcia's doing the Bubba Ray like table orgasm look now every time that he's got Daddy Magic yelling at him. Like he's trying to hold it in. He's doing what he can, but he's like, it's terrible every time now. I don't know how to deal with it. And also, total sidebar. Danny has Marina Shafir with him at ringside, right? She's out there intimidating, doing what she's doing. After watching her promo in Defy, like keeping that thing, I need her to speak. Like, can we get her on the mic somewhere, please?
I'm telling you, like that video I sent in our group chat, that was her promo from Defy Wrestling this past weekend. Well, from 2 weeks ago. And I was just like, where is this, Marina? Like,
she would fit perfectly in the women's division, and there's a lot of people that just got beat by Toni Storm that could, go after her and everything else.
100%. Again, these two can fight forever, and I would be here for all of it. So
very good match, though. Very good match overall, though. A lot of good technical wrestling here. If nothing else says this to you, there needs to be a pure title in AEW. This is where it should be.
It's just like, why are there so many people running around?
They had to pay them for something, and then they were back later on for a promo. It was bizarre. Nice to see Griff Garrison and out there with not so much Jack Jameson, but everyone else. Like it was a nothing match that could have been first on the card and been fine to open it up a little bit or just throw it in there. But it never got fully started for me. It just felt like it was kind of like, there, we've paid you your contractual obligation to be on a big card.
Yeah, which is very, very fair. Of course, Paragon and Hologram win, seemingly begrudgingly is okay with them. It's now, I guess. I don't know anymore. Like,
who knows? I feel like also after the thing announced later on, I know who's coming back to be part of that match, but having Roddy around there when they're facing off against Death Rider folks will be so funny to see if they have him interact with Marina. I just feel like it'd be hysterical.
The brief interaction that they had leading into this pay-per-view was glorious. I was like, yes, please. Be like, ooh, it's going to be a long car ride home. I love it so much.
No, I'm driving.
Yes. Marina!
Mommy!
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Roddy probably likes being put in the mother's milk. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. Anywho, so Paragon and Hologram win. So, of course, the conglomeration is getting a certain whatever, man, like coming back. Let's just talk about that really quickly, too, because later in that show, later in the main card, Kyle's on the phone. Conglomeration are celebrating because, lo and behold, we're in the middle of the show, and technically everyone in Conglomeration plus Roddy got a win. Yep. And so, but, Briscoe and Conglomeration still got beef with, folks. And so Mark is like, hey, Kyle, what do you say on the phone? And, Kyle's like, hey, he said, whatever, man. And then everybody breaks the fourth wall by slowly raising the thumb.
Yeah, so I did.
I'm so pumped. I was like, I have missed you so much.
I'm just waiting for when he can take on Okada for that belt.
Oh my God, that match is we're going to talk about it because Okada, like everybody did amazing on the main card. We're going to get into that, but let's talk about the match that was truly chaotic.
This was a car wreck. Oh my God, in the best possible way. Everything was just so bizarre and fun.
Like, I don't even know where to begin. We had Mina, like, I need her to use a cooler every time now because that's her favorite weapon. She's like throwing hands. Harley Cameron's out here delivering DDTs and Daisy Dukes. We had a beer pong like table broken in half. There were chairs. Like, this was a car crash, but in the best way.
Julia Hart and Sky Blue getting stuck in a grill.
It's just like, please, yes, this was great. But Tony Khan, we know what we want after this. Like, you literally had these women use everyday tailgating items, and like, you know what we want now. Give me my blood and guts match at some point, which Tony did address during the scrum. He's just like, I do want it to happen. It's just got to be the right time. I was like, I will take you at your word, Tony. I want to see it before the end of 2025, though.
That's the right time. I mean, hey, it'd be a great holiday present for us somewhere close to, I don't know, Full Gear or anything else. Maybe we could have a lot of good things for this.
Like, have it at Full Gear, have it before World's End, like, leading into it. Like, please do. That'd be great. But this was amazing. All 8 of these women brought it. This was so much fun. a lot of these folks this would not be the only appearance they have. Tune in Thursday, especially because one of these folks appeared at Evil Uno's Mystery Wrestling, and her tag team partner, I'm not gonna lie, made me cry to see her back.
I honestly, for a moment before I was realizing what was happening, thought it was someone else that was in this match, but didn't end up being.
So the team of Willow Nightingale, Mina Shirakawa, Feel the Wrath Harley Cameron, and Team Juicy herself, Queen Aminata, picked up the victory over, our heels. But this was so much fun and a great way to enter us into the main card.
It is.
You know what, Zero Hour? You did good this time. You did good, All Out Toronto 0 Hour.
It was worth watching. I will say this for this match specifically. Tony, you've had your big schmoz. We're building the blood and guts. Can we find other things for all of these women to do now so they all don't just have to fight each other in groups anymore?
For reals. Let's get more. We already know we can get storylines without championships, y'all. Let's do it, especially for our women's division. But that takes us out of 0 Hour, and now let us get into the main card because we kick things off with the tag team match with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR. This match was also a lot of fun too, but I'm going to be completely honest. I'm just like, I really just want to talk about what happened towards the end and the actual ending because I was like,
can I go into the fact that I got to get closer. Tony, baby, buddy, pal, we've talked about a lot of things for a while about this. I just have one question. What are finishing moves for?
I was like,
between this, there was some other stuff and some other matches where people were getting up at 1, where like it took 12 of them and they still didn't go down. Like you're spamming them like we're playing 2K25 and they're really not meaning anything anymore, and I'm not trusting them. They're a finishing move for a reason. They're supposed to be the end of the match, and yes, I know you can play with our heartstrings and see, oh my god, but when you do it 14 times and they still get out of it, like, I just don't know if that many shatter machines is really gonna do anything to anybody now.
Which I 100% agree. I was like, listen, I'm good with maybe spamming it like once, twice, maybe 3 times if it's warranted. Especially when we get to our main event, because Heyman needs to make sure he had won that match.
Yes, but like for this, like the pacing was odd. Like it was a fun match for a bit there. They definitely worked around the limitations that people had, but I feel like they got lazy and we're like, we don't know another way to get around all this or to do it, so we're just going to keep trying to amp the drama by doing the same big move over and over and having the same kick out. Like,
well, and then on the weird hand too, because of course, I watch everything. I was just like, listen, wrestling fans, I love you, but let's be real. That match is not happening anytime soon. But the fact that Copeland did a 5-knuckle shuffle, I'm like, what? Like, oh my god! That was his
answer because the last match that that guy had, he did a spear.
Right, like, and I was just like, this is getting out of hand. But I'm here because I'm messy. I'm here for it. But
I'm just looking for Matt Hardy to break out the Unprettier in TNA. That's all I'm looking for.
Listen, the Unprettier is like the best move. I'm gonna say. Because it belongs to the best person ever, an advocate, and gonna call everybody out on the crap. Chelsea Green, who, the crowd at GCW.
Without knowing what it was.
Yeah, I was just like, it's crazy. But so we get towards the tail end of this match, right? Chaos is happening. People are spamming finishers. And then all of a sudden...
Stokely's getting involved. Stokely's getting in the way, pulling people out, pulling stuff out, being Stokely.
Exactly. And then some music hits. And I was just like, I don't think I recognize this. Hold up. And then, listen, say what you will. She is an icon. I love her so damn much. Do not care. Beth, Mother Tucking Phoenix, comes out. Or
just Beth Immortal Bird. Otherwise, it was Beth Copeland. They finally said Copeland a couple times, which Beth Copeland works too. But coming out dressed up like a Valkyrie with her eye black on, ready to kick ass.
She destroyed Stokely, and it was amazing.
And then picks him up and just walks him out.
I was just like, yes, Beth, I love you so much. But then she would come out after the match. But after Stokely gets taken away, we get into the final end where Copeland and Cage do end up winning this match, picking up the victory here. But then, of course, we had Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne in a wheelchair with Mama Wayne come out. FTR are pissed off, so everybody's getting destroyed. Beth comes out to fight the boys, which is great. Dalton Castle's boys, but just boys in general.
Soon, but then Kip Sabian out of nowhere sneaks up with his very bad spray tan and starts handcuffing Copeland to the ropes, and then throws the realest potato punches toward Cash Wheeler I have seen in forever, hitting him all sorts of places. Dax is getting a little bit of it, but it's mostly Cash, and she gets a spike pile driver. And she took it brutally. Like, she sold that thing well.
So good. It's oh man. I was like, I am very interested. I don't know if this means that FTR and then the matriarchy might have some sort of working relationship going into this, which would be a lot of fun. You add that extra element to the story. I'm here for this, but I do agree. As fun as this match was to open it up, I feel that we need to reserve finishers for certain parts. Like, listen, you can pull out every else in your arsenal, like every single other thing you got that's not a finisher. I'm here for a spot fest. But when we're spamming like 15 finishers in a match, I'm just like, okay, now we're wasting my time. Stop playing with me and just do it.
Seriously. But the other thing I thought, Mikey, when this happened, I'm like, Mother Wayne comes out, pushing out Nick. Kip Sabian appears out of nowhere. We're missing somebody in this. What's going on? And it wouldn't be till later in the night I understood why.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that. And granted, I was like, you know what? I know plans had to change, especially when we got him back the first time. But you know what? It was still impactful. We're going to talk about it when we get there. But Copeland and Christian walk out with the victory. They won the battle. The war is not over yet, though. So, not close. So, we move on, though, to our next match, which I was just like, I already know how this goes. I do not care. The Mad King is back in AEW, and that is all I care about.
I loved a lot of this match. It was fun to watch and fun to see the crowd react. But goddamn, Eddie, you should have had a couple tune-up matches. There were just some major times I'm like, the rust is there. Was I still entertained? Yes. Was it believable? Not really. It's slower in places. Big Bill isn't as the best seller in the world. He does what he can. But Eddie, valiant and fun, and you did what you could have been better? Probably. Was it terrible? No. Was it a TV match? Yes. It was a TV match.
No, I agree. But honestly, I don't care. I'm happy the Mad King is back. And also, I love that Eddie is just... I aspire to be levels of pettiness because his shirt says Claudio can still suck eggs. Like, I was yes, let him know you still hate him and his guts.
And Eddie was lapping it up too. He well-deserved getting that from the crowd. He worked his butt off for what he could. Bill did all he could to do it. And little Brian Keith being that gnat outside, flying around and doing stuff, trying to get in the way. He gets the back fist on him. He wins. Well done to Eddie, but it's the aftermatch that ends up happening that just completely throws it off because I kind of got it, but I also was like, why?
Yeah, let's talk about that. First of all, shout out to the bounty hunter Brian Keith, who is our new Defy Wrestling champion after having a banger match and beating Clark Connors for the title 2 weekends ago. But yeah, so they begin, Big Bill and Brian Keith start beating up on Eddie Kingston after the match. The Hook signal gets fired up and Hook comes out for the save, and Eddie Kingston and Hook have like a nice like New Yorker moment kind of thing. And I'm just like, not the direction I thought we were going, but okay.
Yeah, seems forced for no good reason because Hook still hasn't like defined himself again. Changing music aside, it's just he's kind of there. While in Philadelphia it made sense for him to be there, he's a nepo baby of royalty there. This was kind of like, okay, I mean, you didn't really save him because you proved you're too small to take on Big Bill, and you had to put Brian Keith in the Red Rum, but like, didn't work for me. And then of course that aside, the botched backfist onto Brian Keith, but this didn't sit well. It's not that I don't respect both of them as performers. There's just something about them that feels too orchestrated and forced upon Eddie, and like they don't trust Hook to actually draw. That bothers me.
And I don't think it would work anyways, but this would have been really cool. Be like, hey, you know what? Eddie Kingston like mentors the bounty hunter and Big Bill. Be like, I mean, that would have been a fun thing where those three kind of run roughshod a little bit. But hey, we're getting Eddie and Hook. I'm gonna need more convincing, but again, I am super happy that the Mad King of AEW is back, and I'm shout out to Cesar Bononi too for keeping Eddie Kingston motivated and helping him in his recovery. Like, shout out to him. I'm so happy Eddie is back. Cannot wait to see where we go with Eddie. Definitely. We move on though to our next match. Oh my god. Listen, I don't care what no one says, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this past weekend, MJF, you were my MVP. I saw you on Friday and I saw you on Saturday, like literally bleed for everything you have.
Back
like
from a bloody event in Mexico to do this. Like, oh my god. And then just the setup too, like just dumping the buckets of tax to start the match. This was one where like my daughter was running through a couple different times. I'm like, cover your eyes, kid. This is not for you.
This is a lot. And when I saw Bryce Remsburg picture on social media of all the tax in his shoe, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, and also like he kept putting on the gloves and then on the glasses and stuff because like they were spitting them out. Every time they spat them out, like anything else where it went to the crowd, I'm like, oh god, this is a health and safety violation beyond.
Now, at first I was just like, I'm not sure if I think this match is needed. And by the end of it, I was like, no, you know what? I'll take this because hopefully this is the finite point of this chapter between these two because we've been dragging it on since summer and now I was kind of it makes sense because now MJF is filming movies, but I was like, I feel like he should have won, but you know what, Mark Briscoe winning makes sense because Mark is going to be still on TV for a little bit fighting the good fight against some other folks in here while MJF is off doing movies, and Max is fine because he still has his contract. But yeah, this match was nuts.
Mark proving his Hardcore Legend status all the way. I also found it extremely funny watching Mystery Wrestling like a day later and seeing the reference to this that they made in that match. Like, just crazy. So, like, this is definitely going to be visuals and, like, something AEW is going to refer to a lot for what they can do. And still wasn't, like, the worst match for injury or anything else. It was bad. Every part of me was, like, anytime they fell or they tried to get up or, like, it's such a perilous thing. And yet was so much fun.
Listen, I'm always here to advocate for wrestler safety, but Mark Briscoe, the moment you took those tacks inside the head and they kind of stayed there for the whole entire match, I was just like, yeah, you have a couple screws loose, but I'm kind of glad that you do ? I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I was like, you made me feel like, oh my god, I can't believe we actually went there.
He's taking that Mick Foley brass ring and then running with it. Like, he has become the new incarnation of it.
So good. Briscoe picks up the win. This was a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. I was pleasantly surprised. I had a great time with this match, even though I was wincing through half of it. Shout out to the crew for cleaning up as best as they can to get the next matches going, because I was just like, that was crazy. Yeah. But so Max is off filming movies. Briscoe is with the conglomeration. They're going to fight some folks this upcoming week, so it should be a lot of fun. Moving on.
But wow. Okay, I call this match The Bald and the Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow. This is all I can say for this for a couple of reasons, Mikey, on this. One, these teams have chemistry. They really do. They work really well together. Hard-hitting match, back and forth for a lot of it, and MVP taking a lot more punishment than I expected him to even do at all, including taking the pin, and, you know, Ricochet doing so many things that are just completely defying gravity. But I gotta say this part of it, Mikey. This does nothing to dissuade any of the rumors about how this went down and why this came up. It actually enforces a lot of what people have been saying backstage about the Hurt Syndicate and what's been going on with it, and it's really not looking good for them at all. Like, it's just very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's not helping the rumors for sure. But again, I also feel that Ricochet and the Goa winning, I was just like, I know there's more to the story backstage probably, but honestly, in the moment, I was like, I wanted Goa to get a big win at this pay-per-view, and they did. So I was just like, now we shall see. Oh, by the way, we should also clarify that Ricochet and Goa now are going by the Demand. I'm like, still don't know if I like that name, but we're going to workshop it a little bit.
But they're each in demand.
That is very true. I love them. Listen, I am a weird wrestling fan. When we got ball in from Mr. MVP over here during this match, I was just like, I went as a fan. I was like, I don't care if that movie's cheesy as all hell. The fact that MVP in 2025 is still hitting ball in, I'm just like, let's go.
But at least we had some fun. I'm not saying the bad guy should always win, but the right folks won in this one. I'm just hoping to, something that we can at least have something happen now from this, and it doesn't just get stagnated.
No, I was like, they beat the Hurt Syndicate. I need to see where Hurt Syndicate goes, but I had a fun time with this match as well. And this is a case where I feel like the right people definitely won in this match. And I was like, you know what? I can't complain. Had a great time with this. Mercedes, listen, like, I might get some heat for this, but I feel like this is your best match to date.
Oh, no, I'm with this one.
Yeah, this was your best match ever, and I think that's a testament to, I feel, and this is just me, I like to give both women's props, but this is for the TBS Championship. I feel that Mercedes finally is taking notes and understanding like what hasn't clicked with the last couple of defenses, like towards the beginning of this year, and is starting to make small changes and working with people that are actually beneficial and actually listening to the opponents and like working better with them. But then, of course, it's Riho. Like, come on now. Riho is that girl. Like, she is so good in this ring. But my goodness, this TBS championship match was so much fun. I got a kick of all the male models holding Mercedes' championships. I'm like, what in the pretty deadly is this? But I'm really here for it. So
someone telling Tony Schiavone, like, do you want to be one of those models up there, take his shirt off or anything else?
Listen, in the craziest world, if commentary was able to get away with that kind of stuff, I would laugh my ass off if we saw Taz and Excalibur and Tony. I'm gonna be so for real. I feel like the one who would kind of be like, I feel like the person that would be the most here for it is Danielson and probably Nigel. Those two and Daddy Magic. Those three would be
easily those three.
Oh my god! But
then of course this match, Tony Storm would want to do it too.
So good, but my goodness, this match ruled. I had such a blast with this one. And again, to me, this is best match as TBS champion. And you know what? I also really appreciated that now we're getting more of the heelish. I mean, Mercedes has kind of been mostly a heel now that she changed it from being kind of a tweener face. But I like watching her be like, oh my god, she actually poked her eyes. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting a different dynamic. I'm here for this one, especially if this means a little bit more vindictively heel too. I'm like, go for it.
She's got to be, but yeah, like, between the fact that her pace has changed, so that she's no longer the one that's being held up like the babyface to run the motor of the match. She's reactive, and it's a lot more fun for her that way when she wrestles. She's so much better that way. But also, just a quick thing. Shout out to Michael Oku. Love you. You are an amazing rising star. I think you're one of the best out there. You're supreme. Riho does the lean back single crab better than you do, but that's because she's flexy. It is so devastating as a finisher, as a submission and finisher. I want to see it used as a finisher somewhere else other than just Riho. Like somebody does that, because that's how a single leg crab should work. It shouldn't just be someone sitting down where you can get out of it any way you want.
No, and again, this is a testament of how good Riho is too. But this match ruled. Mercedes does end up retaining her championship, but because she had to resort to poking Riho's eyes in order to get that finisher on her, I'm just like, I'm interested to see where we go from this. Now, we are just missing two of the women's division Infinity Stones right now in the form of Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose. I need those two come back, and it's on and popping in this division.
Well, and we need Mercedes to get her bodyguard back. We need Camille.
That is also very true. But shout out to Mercedes and Riho. This match was so good. Y'all, this was a lot of fun. But we got to move on.
Pamela, we need you. Please leave the other place and come have some fun here.
For reals. Oh my goodness. Moving on. Okay. So I know we watched the women's match, and even after that, I think the surprise factor of who won the women's match pushed it over the edge a little bit. I'm gonna be so for real though. I still hold this as probably my favorite match, but not by a lot because the women also delivered too. But this AEW Unified Championship 3-way there. I don't know what they told these boys, these men's before they went out there. The three of them decided, let's just put on a fucking banger. And oh my god. First of all, listen. I have kind of been critical of you a little bit because sometimes you phone it in, and I was just like, you know what? I'm here for it, but I need you to lock in and give me Okada that I know. Shut me up real easily. Takeshita. This is what the winner of the G1 Climax needs to look like even when he loses and not win the championship. Like, ooh, this is great. Mascara, I'm pissed off at you. The fact that you are only 23 fucking years old and this is the level of excellence that you are working with. Oh shit. Honestly, this is on my short list. This is easily in my top 5 of my favorite matches of this year. Oh hell. Boys, you get a clap and you get a Naomi like salt with the fingers. Like, holy shit, this match rolled.
Match psychology was perfect. Mascara Dorada being in there just to be able to split those two up because we had the one guy outside, 2 guys in, and Mascara Dorada in there to take the pin. We knew this going in, but just the chemistry between all three was amazing. When we finally got, and they teased us, they edged us for quite a while, with Takeshita Okada and what would happen, and now you want that to be a bigger match at at Wrestle Dream, at Full Gear, somewhere. All three of these guys gave it their all, took it to town, started to really like take it in fun places, and honestly, it was one of the best built matches I've seen all year. And that's saying a lot with the Will Ospreay matches I've seen. Everything else, this was well built.
Yeah, the match itself was great, and even what we got afterwards too, because Okada wins, but that's because Takeshita had Mascara dead to rights, was getting that pin, and then Okada comes in to steal the win from Takeshita, which is great. Afterwards, Don Callis. By the way, yeah. Speaking of which, shout out to Bryan Danielson. He would be me during commentary. Oh my God, Danielson! I was just like, just stay on commentary. You are me when I watch wrestling. Like, honestly, it's like this
yelling
is
and
stuff.
Screaming, loving every minute of it. Oh my God, Danielson was like the voice we needed. It was
so good. But after the match, we get a little bit of a stare down between Okada and Takeshita with, Don Callis be like, look at my two boys. And I was like, sir, I love this because I was like, you could tell, Takeshi's like, yeah, we're homies, but I'm pissed because I would have won that match and you stole it from me. Like, non-verbally, he's just like, okay, I see where it is. Don't worry, I'm gonna come get you later. And I'm here for Takeshita to be like, oh, okay, so Okada's the new shiny toy for you, Don. Okay, let's break him in a little bit.
There we go.
Yes, sound effects. We love that. But oh my God, this match ruled. And I was just like, you know what? This is where things started. Not to say that everything before this was just like not bad, but I was like, I enjoyed everything. Yeah. Now we get into the great stuff because everything after this, I was yelling and hooping and hollering at my phone screen. Like,
I was down here in the basement yelling and screaming. My daughter's like next door going, what the heck's going on? And she tried to come out for the next match. And I'm like,
be like, no, speaking of next match. Okay. This match, again, I knew this was going to get crazy, but holy hell. Like,
yeah,
I saw.
How do you top tacks and tables? This is how you top it.
Yeah, this coffin match, Jon Moxley, Darby Allin, like, again, when you want to sneak in, he'll.
Yep.
But let me tell you, there was like, we know that when we get these two individually in other matches, be like, they're always going to metaphorically maybe die on my screen. Don't know. When you get both of them together in a match, I was like, oh God, someone actually might die. That moment when Darby pulled out the bag, I was just like, oh my God, it's happening. And then we were on that shot forever. I was like, I'm starting to get uncomfortable, but I can't look away either. But holy crap, this match was crazy. And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but Moxley winning here made a lot of sense to me, but it also set up for what we got later in the show too, which we'll talk about after we talk about this match.
We knew Darby doesn't win these matches. He's never won a coffin match.
For real. Every time he's had well, no, I take that back. He's only won.
Beat Jack Perry.
He beat Jack Perry, and I also believe he beats in one too.
Did it?
I think so.
It's like Swerve's Dread was out of the coffin. So
that's right. I forgot. Never mind. Yeah. So the only person he has beaten is Jack Perry.
Yeah.
And that was because Sting was a distraction. So because that boy was about to be set on fire.
He's gonna break his back on these real coffins one of these days.
For real. But that wasn't even the crazy part. So technically Darby had Moxley dead to rights, but then, he cut his hair. And so I had to take some time to get used to it. And I was like, feed this man. But we get the return of Pac, and I literally scared Mama Laguillo on the drive to Los Angeles because, like, oh my God, he's back
in his tactical turtleneck, looking like he's been a homeless man somewhere else that's been dragged around. He does not look like himself, and I know it's just because the hair is short. But gods,
he's seen some shit in his time.
He really has.
But Pac is back. The bastard is back, and I'm so excited.
Oh, Death Riders need an infusion of something. This is it
for reals, and so. Later on, though, because, Darby is getting dragged backstage in this bag, I was like, Moxley's like, hey, I want a moment alone. I was just like, are you sure that's a good idea? This kid does not stay dead for long. Like, this, Moxley, but it is what it is. So the Death Riders get into their truck. They peel away. Moxley's having some sort of eulogy for Darby. He opens the coffin. Darby pops up like a bat out of hell. Starts beating up Moxley. I was like, yeah, that's par for the course. Then Darby sets this man on fire, and I was like, oh my God, we can add arson to the list of crimes that Darby has committed for this match.
He's already got that. Didn't he set Swerve on fire at one point, or somebody set on fire? Like
AEW really loves to use fire for a lot of things. It's either people or houses that get burned. Like,
yeah, oh my God, and usually by Darby Allin.
For reals. But Darby sets Moxley on fire, and basically this isn't over. And I was like, Moxley has won the battle, but this war with Darby is far from over.
What
And
a
I was
match
just
and
like,
what an after. The after thing is just so it's setting up a lot of stuff. Let's hope they do something with it.
and I was just like, where do you go from a coffin match? Well, color me intrigued, AEW. Looks like I might have to tune in to see where we're going with this. But ooh, this match was crazy. We got to move on though, because let's go like this. I'm so happy that this match was as excellent as it was, because I know we talked a little bit during predictions. We're just like, we need to see a couple of things. Like, where do we go from here? But then again, we were all working in the assumption that Tony was going to retain. Spoiler alert, that wasn't the case. Because, and I love the internet sleuths out here in wrestling land, because they piece this together, and this just makes this piece of information even more juicier and more amazing. Chris has never lost this year on Collision, because that's where she's mostly been having her matches. She has not lost a single match. And of course, it would be the Saturday Night Fever on a Saturday to get her the win and to pin. I was like, holy crap.
Too. And Tony is perfectly reacting to it, because we go back to every time Tony talked about any of these women that are up against her, she's running down folks. She's running down Jamie, running down Tekla, running down Mercedes, all that. Chris Statlander, what a woman. Like, she
admires Chris. Yeah. And you know what? I was loving Tony's reaction, because she was the best thing that has ever happened. And I'm so happy for Chris. Like, oh my God, is that Private Party? I miss those boys. But yeah, this match was awesome. Everybody looked good in this. And of course, I'm already thinking at the very end who should be the one to take it. Like, however you want to grab it. I know we're tired of them fighting forever, but I want Stat to have a good chunky time, like a good chunky championship reign. But I want this to culminate in like not a heel versus face, but two best friends truly been in this business forever. I need her and Willow to go at it, where Willow can get this championship too. But don't let that happen until a long time later. I would like to see Willow to be the one at the very end of Stat's reign, to be the one to take it from her. But also, I'm here for Jamie too, because Jamie, well, you know what? Now that Tony doesn't have the championship, you could still do some fun stuff with Jamie and Tony that doesn't revolve around the championship. And Tekla's still out here for blood. You know she's gonna be popping off every chance she gets to. Like,
But besides that, this was well worked, where it wasn't a lot of like two people in the match at one time. Everyone didn't they all ganged up on Tekla and they went over here. Jamie and Statlander definitely have good chemistry, where you want to see that come back again. Jamie wants to get that title back. I feel like, is this going to go back to Tony at some point again so Jamie can get it? Because we were hoping by the end of the year that Jamie would get it back from Tony, and this was just kind of like, whoa, throws everything up in the air. So I don't know, but also the fact of Hayter hit both her signature and her finisher quick. I was fully expecting her to take it. Like, this was fluid.
No, but honestly, this is a good surprise in wrestling. Chris Statlander is your new women's world champion,
and getting the "you deserve a chance" at the end there, and then Harley Cameron jumping in her arms. Like,
that was so adorable. I loved it. But Chris also makes AEW history, because she's the first woman to be a TBS champion and an AEW Women's World Champion.
And she won it with the move that she was working on with Wheeler.
So much storytelling. I'm so happy this match blew my expectations out the water. This was phenomenal. This and the Unified are probably my two favorite matches of the entire night. But that's not to say that everything else was just bad. It's just that.
Yeah, I feel like the matches were somewhat in the right order, so let's hope. But in general, like, it could have been a little bit better. I think this or the Unified title could have ended the end of the night, though, specifically because of the out of nowhereness of it.
Yeah, but this match ruled. This was so much fun. But we got two more matches to talk about. Semi-main event, your AEW World Tag Team Championship 4-way ladder match. My God, listen, I was just like, I did not know. This is crazy to me. That everybody defied the laws of physics and gravity in this match. Like, holy hell, this match was nuts.
Speedball's toes, knees, and Hechicero's arms on that moonsault knee spot. Like, oh my God. Just like, that was like, to me, like, Hechicero's fingers were stuck in the ladder, and it was just please wear shoes when you do the speedball. Like, I don't want to see you in ladder matches for that reason. Just like,
be like, wear some shoes, darn you.
I'm surprised no one lost a toe or a finger. Like, it was interesting.
Oh my gosh. And I was like, sir, you are higher than the actual belts and where they are currently located. What are we doing? Like, why?
To get both down.
It was crazy to me, but really, actually, it was really nice to see Josh and Speedball continue to be like, oh yeah, we had a great match in TNA. Let's just continue to fight on this ladder real quick.
Well done there. The teamwork between them when Kevin Knight's jumping over the ladder as Speedball's rolling under it as they're going past the Bucks. The Bucks being little shits that they are all the way through it and actually having fun playing around with it. There was so many good, not just acrobatic, not just car crash, like well scouted, not feeling like it's oversold, well put together, like just moments. This was such a textbook way to do a tag team ladder match, and a lot better than a lot that I've seen.
100%. And of course, Brodito is still your tag team champs. Makes me super excited. Just Brody King and Bandito are amazing.
Bandito would forget to bring down both titles, and so it would be like Brody King or Mike Bailey by accident.
This was so much fun. And honestly, I was just like, this was a blast. I have no other notes than I had a great time watching this because everyone did the darn thing and it was great. And you know what?
Your spine right now after that sunset flip.
Oh, I know. I was just like, remind me to make a appointment with my chiropractor and my, a little bit later.
Breaking everything seriously. I'm glad. I want Brodito to keep going, but gosh, I'll be surprised if any of these guys are on TV on Wednesday.
Seriously, I was just like, y'all take the week off. Crazy. Yes, they do. But we move on. Main event time. Holy hell. Ooh! Holy hell. Listen, I got what I wanted from this match. Give it another year or two. Kyle Fletcher is the next one up. I'm calling it right now. I mean, we've been on this Kyle Fletcher Protostar train forever, but I'm calling it right now. He gonna be the world champion in the next year or two. My God, what a performance from this kid. Love Kyle. Hangman also did great.
Sidebar to commentary, Brian bringing up the fact that they were worried when Mark Davis went down, that whether he would do it, like bringing up the whole thing with how Kyle got to this spot and like giving him praise for being the worker that he is. Like they're actually like just to weave it in there. Like thank you for calling it out that he has done so much to push his career forward when he could have gotten stuck somewhere and been stuck that way.
Like it's so true, and I'm just saying, I had such a blast with this one. And again, I feel that this match did what it really was meant to do. Of course, Hangman wins, like no surprise there. But this match, more importantly, and again, I say this all the time, when it comes to matches like this is like the company's being like, all right, kid, let's see what you can do. You're TNT champion. You've done some really fun stuff. Let's see how you handle the quote unquote pressure of the main event scene and if you can handle being in the spotlight like that. Well, I feel like AEW at one point forgot to turn the lights back on. So somebody forgot to pay the light bill for the first couple of minutes, but then we got back into it.
That weird championship light for a bit there. And I thought, like, oh, are they doing this on purpose? Like, this is a whole.
I was like, this is not a lights out match. What are we doing? But damn, Kyle Fletcher passed and exceeded and blew expectations, passed with flying colors. Holy hell. And the fact that Hangman had to drop this man from the top rope not once. And then I was just like, you know what, Hangman, I understand. I get it. You got to make sure this kid is down. You double tapped him to make sure, like a horror movie.
Head, stomach, and heart, all three at once. And you know what? I love the stipulation was honored. Don Callis didn't do anything, and that breeds dissension now at this point because Don's disappointed in his little protege.
No, and again, this was not to say the Proto Star was not a big deal now, but this was truly his main event coming out party. And I am ready for Kyle. I'm ready for Kyle Fletcher to be world champion in the next year or two. I'm on that agenda. So what a great main event, which is what, Hangman walks up the ramp. Very grateful for, holding the championship as All Out Toronto goes off the air.
They held on it a little longer than I thought. I was really thinking something was about to happen to him.
Same.
And no. So that was a nice big tease at the end there.
You're like, how dare you tease me, AEW?
They've been edging me all night.
For reals. It's definitely a recommended watch from me. I gave this show a B+. My only knocks for this is that I felt that some of the matches overstayed their welcome just a tiny bit and kind of dragged in certain bits overall with the pacing. But there is not a single match that I thought was just inherently bad. There were some I liked more than others, but everything was solid. And again, since Dynasty, AEW has been on a consistently good run with the pay-per-view.
I will say this, for whatever else went on this weekend, its most mediocre matches or the longer matches we had for All Out here were 10 times better than the best matches on the card that went on.
100%. So that's going to bring us to the end of All Elite Insight. So that is the end of our show. I am looking... I am looking forward to Dynamite and Collision this week. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's the worst kept secret, but I'm excited for Orange Cassidy's return. Like, oh, I forgot to mention, we forgot to talk about the greatest reuniting of two friends at the ladder match because the Bucks is still in the ring. Do we call him scapegoat or he's just Jack Perry now?
He's back to Jack Perry now because of what happened, but he was there with his little knife pouch, having sent them a knife before, and he starts to beat the crap. They're beating the crap out of each other. They're going at each other. They get him tied up in the ropes. The lights go out, and a video package plays.
It's the same video package we got when Killswitch / Luchasaurus returned, but he's no longer Killswitch. It is Luchasaurus. And I have to say, never have I cried more at the reuniting of a boy and his dinosaur.
Especially when he pulled off the belt, because Perry pointed it out and threw it in the crowd.
That fan got a great souvenir that night.
They did. And they played, Jungle Life, and, it was just so good.
I was like, damn it, wrestling, you're not supposed to make me cry.
My daughter would be screaming about that. Came down like, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, people are back together that haven't been in years. And they've been wasted. It's been so good.
Oh, man, but for reals. Listen, I would hug that dinosaur any day. That man is tall.
Oh, yes, he is.
But he's also a sweetheart, too. We love him. We love you, Luchasaurus. You are great. But, man, yeah, I gave this a B+ as the final grade on the report card. I think this is the easiest grade to give. Of course, I have my minor nitpicks, but hot damn, this, again, since April, since Dynasty, AEW has been a consistently great, solid, amazing pay-per-view run because every single pay-per-view, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All Out Toronto, all y'all in Texas. This was such a good show. I love this so much. And
afternoon starting time. We need to keep this afternoon starting time.
Yes, Anthony Khan. Please keep it to afternoon Eastern / kind of the morning for Western because I'm like, please keep that time frame because it's nice to be done. Yeah, it's nice to be done by 3 p.m. Pacific for me, 4 p.m. Pacific, and I still have a whole evening to enjoy.
Exactly, where we don't have to do any other wrestling stuff. We can actually have a life and enjoy. I'm awake for the whole thing. I'm not tired by the end of a long card. It was so nice to have a nice little meal in the middle. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Right. And then of course you have my weirdo-ness because again, we talked about it before going on air of all the stuff I watched that weekend. I also failed to mention too that the night before that Saturday, I was also up with Adolfo and Will as we were doing a live watch along for the CMLL anniversary show. Minus a certain event in Indianapolis, wrestling was so damn good this past weekend.
So good.
And it's going to be even better this weekend because there's lots of good things coming up, which, you know what? Let's take a look at what the rest of this week and kind of previewing the following week is going to look like. Shall we?
We're not doing we're not doing our scores yet. We're doing the thing first.
I want to get the business out the way, and then we're going to do the scores because these scores are very interesting. So really quickly, here is what the remainder of this week does look like for everyone. So tomorrow evening, you get the double dose of reviews. Tomorrow, it is going to be Kilt and I. Of course, Kilt is our newest third for NXT since Homeboy is actually on location to attend these things live. And so Kilt and I will be reviewing the Go Home edition of NXT airing currently right now, as we will also be doing our prediction for NXT's No Mercy, which is happening this weekend. But then stick around and come back later at 8 p.m. Pacific as the CMLL crew will be here to review the 92nd Aniversario show, which was a lot of fun. But then the greatest thing to ever hit professional wrestling, comedy wrestling, y'all. Because Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Mystery Wrestling 18. Oh my God, I had such a blast watching it.
That was the best wrestling all weekend. I'm sorry. Nothing against anything else that happened. That was so good.
We got the comedy spots, but we also had some great wrestling. We got a return from somebody who's been on hiatus for a little bit, which made me cry. And we're setting up some really fun stuff for Mystery Wrestling 19, as well as some really cool announcements like Mystery Wrestling 21 is going to be going international, which is crazy, which we're going to talk about on Thursday. Then on Friday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, the TNA crew will be reviewing the Go Home edition, as we will be reviewing our Go Home edition for TNA, as well as making our predictions for Victory Road. And then we close everything out on Sunday with our WWE review and a live watch along for MLW's Fury Road. which is setting us up for next Saturday, which is going to be the next big show for MLW in MLW's Slaughterhouse. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Slaughterhouse is going to be great, and it's going to be so much fun. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, are you ready?
I think I am. I'm ready for Mystery Wrestling on Thursday. That's what I'm ready for.
That part too, but are you ready to see these prediction scores?
I don't want to. I do, but I don't.
So this is not a hyperbole. So I calculated everything from this past weekend, and between all 4 predictions leagues, because it's WWE, AEW, TNA, and NXT. Those four promotions have a predictions league. After calculating everything, this is a tight race.
Wow.
So still currently in first is me with a score of 28-11. But tailing right behind me is Benny, who is 27-10. And then still really close behind me too is JBL and the Professor, who are tied with 26-13.
Together holding hands. What is going on?
But look how close this is. Listen, before All Out Toronto, I was ahead by a good chunk of points. But then after All Out Toronto and the amazing score that you and Benny grabbed, because Benny was the only person to pick Chris to win, and that really pushed him. It pushed him up into this echelon. Professor going back to his normal performance of like not doing too hot after almost sweeping Forbidden Door, might I add.
Right. Oh my God.
But holy crap, you guys caught up real quick.
Well, we have one more to go because we're not doing full gear on this one, so I don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah, after Wrestle Dream, the first half of AEW pay-per-views is going to be nuts, because then after Wrestle Dream, there are only 4 more pay-per-views left in the prediction season, because after Wrestle Dream, it's Full Gear, World's End, Revolution, and of course, we end with Dynasty. So
one of those ones, if we're gonna keep getting closer, I'm gonna have to start picking different than you, because like we are getting pretty close at what we pick for some reason.
Honestly, to kind of also do a little bit of a fun fact too. This one is the closest between all 4 predictions leagues, but unlike last year's prediction season, my JBL, I am not in first place in every single one. So of course, Minnie ended up winning WWE at the end of last year, but I was in first for the good chunk of it. And I think it was Survivor Series that screwed me over in the end last year. No, but so far I'm first here. I'm first in WWE, and I'm tied for first in NXT. I am not first. I am second place in TNA with Papa Oso Will pulling up the victory, and he's ahead by 2 points. And I was just like, holy hell! I was like, I will not tolerate this. No, I'm just kidding.
You're gonna fire us all if you don't win. We understand.
A lot of fun, and this is just something fun for all of us to do. Like, it's a great time. It's nice. It's competitive enough without it being too crazy. So I'm having a blast with this. Yeah, the fact that Professor beat everybody at Forbidden Door and he wasn't even there to review it, I was just like, what the flip? But then again, All Out Toronto happened. I was like, there we go. I was like, yeah, we're back to the norm. But
Benny storming up here. I wish he was here tonight so we can congratulate him, but next week we're congratulating him for that.
No, we got to make sure to give him his kudos next week, because jumping in, just, being a part of the crew, coming in at y'all in Texas and just being a part of this is crazy fun. But
hearts in the chat for Benny. Hearts in the chat.
For reals, he's bummed he couldn't be here, but he wished us nothing but the best for this review, and this was a blast. I had a good time with this. So JBL, thank you for being here this evening. It's a lot more fun to talk wrestling with a friend than by myself.
Because honestly, we know the algorithm loves your voice, but everyone else needs a little bit of time off.
No, and I need people to talk to, because while I can do reviews by myself, they are very lonely and not as fun for me.
I know the feeling.
So, oh my goodness, but I'm excited. This is going to be a really it's going to be a packed week, but it's going to be a fun week nonetheless. Again, it's mostly a lot of pay-per-view reviews. Like, if the next week is just as crazy, because we got No Mercy review for NXT, Victory Road for TNA. This weekend's going to be jam-packed because there's a Effie's Big Gay brunch that's happening. There is Progress's next show, and we have Bloodsport for GCW as well in the UK.
And of course, the fact also, while you're doing the Patreon for us, you could join the Patreon for Mystery Wrestling, get the VOD for Mystery Wrestling 18, watch that if you haven't watched it yet. Honestly, give it a watch before Thursday so we can talk about it here. But,
For reals. And
that's the big one right there.
October is also just jam packed. Like as September's coming to the end, to like I will give the full rundown this upcoming Sunday with all the pay-per-views, but like this is jam packed because we got Victory Road, No Mercy. Adolfo and I are super excited for Stardom and New Japan's historic X-Over show in China, nonetheless. So I was like, ooh, Chinese wrestling too, let's go. So I'm excited because it's gonna be great. Bound for Glory for TNA, Halloween Havoc, Mystery Wrestling 19 is also happening very relatively soon.
And Mikey, it is my favorite time of the year in October. You know why?
Spooky season.
It's Abaddon season.
I'm so ready for Abaddon. Cannot wait. We got to get up on out of here, but thank you so much for tuning in. From myself, JVL, and the rest of the BC Wrestle Pod family. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We hope you tune in tomorrow for our NXT and CMLL reviews, as well as what we got going on for the remainder of the week. But until then, this is Sayonara, and until next review, peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's going to happen next time? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.